The video game world has long been a male-dominated culture. A majority of game design professionals are male. A majority of the people we affectionately call gamers are also male. We guys have been enjoying our games for many years now, and we're looking forward to many years of gaming to come. But every now and then, when we stop to look around ourselves, we sometimes wonder why women don't seem even remotely interested in our favorite hobby. And that's our question of the day. Why aren't women interested in video games? Now, I don't mean to say that there aren't girl gamers out there, because there are. We've all probably got a sister, cousin, or a friend who can kick our ass at Halo. I know I do. And more women are working in the game industry than ever before. But even so, the ratio between male and female in this gaming culture is still extremely imbalanced. Actually, I say that, but I guess it depends on how you look at it. Female interest in video games has actually skyrocketed in the last decade, thanks to the rise of casual gaming. In fact, if PopCap surveys are to be believed, these women outnumber us, and the average gamer is no longer the 18 to 34-year-old male, but a woman in her 30s. Of course, these surveys fail to mention that this average gamer is only playing Snood all day. This new wave of female gamers mostly fit into the casual demographic, so they're drawn to the browser-based puzzlers, the pet simulators, the Sims. But look at any line outside a GameStop on the release of a major new console title and there's nary a woman in sight. And the women who do stand in those lines, the ones who are counting the days until Final Fantasy XIII comes out, very small minority. In some cases, their fandom may even alienate them from other women. Example, whenever Lee tells people what she does for a living. Upon hearing this, men tend to be surprised and intrigued. Women kinda weirded out and uncomfortable. I'm sure there are plenty of exceptions to this, but how many of you girls can actually talk games with your girlfriends for more than a couple minutes without things getting awkward? Now, the game industry has been making a focused effort to recruit more women into the workforce and diversify their consumer base. There are a lot of women out there who could be regular customers, and it seems we finally figured that out. Efforts are being made to bring more women into the fold, but outside of the casual market, nothing seems to have worked. Meanwhile, we guys would love to have more girls join in on the fun, but it seems to take just as much finessing to get your girl to play games as ever. And I know it's kinda condescending to say, but it doesn't make it any less true. Why aren't women interested in the big console hits? The Prince of Persias, the Bioshocks, the Halos. I mean, is it something about the gameplay that just doesn't appeal to the feminine mind? I mean, I guess that could be a factor, but like I said before, there are women who like these games. Is it a problem with the premise these games tend to all share? The sci-fi, space marines, explosions, and big breasts? Actually, that probably has a lot to do with it, but I think it's just part of a much larger issue. You see, looking at our industry from its humble beginnings to now, we've always had this image of being kind of a boys' club. This industry has been male-dominated for a long time, and our games reflect that. Games have been designed and marketed to suit male tastes for so long that women may be conditioned to feel excluded from our culture. This world and these games, they just aren't for them. Just because we aren't trying to exclude women doesn't mean that they feel welcome. Naturally, we want to solve this problem, and our first instinct is usually to try to address past grievances. Months ago, Eidos announced plans to reinvent their most popular character, Lara Croft, to widen franchise appeal. Eidos was unsettlingly vague in describing what they meant by reinvent, but the most obvious option would be to dial back the pandering sex appeal and market Lara to someone other than just teenage males. In theory, this maneuver makes some sense. Lara Croft has always been one of the most well-known sex symbols in gaming, and this trend she helped to start towards hypersexualized female characters may very well be a big reason why women are put off by our pastime. Even female gaming fans have often expressed anger at the exploitive way in which women are often represented in this medium, and it's hard to argue with them. You can't really blame women for looking at box art like this and thinking, you know what, I don't think this was made for me. Even if you enjoy playing a game with an attractive avatar, the obsession with breast physics has to get irritating eventually. So in a way, Eidos' gesture makes sense. But assuming they did give her a complete makeover, would a mundane, conservative Lara make the game appeal that much more to women? She's been gaming's biggest sex symbol for so long, it's gonna be hard for anyone to perceive her differently. And if women as a group feel that the Tomb Raider games just aren't for them, even a complete Lara overhaul probably isn't gonna change their perception of the brand. Change Lara all you want, I don't think women are paying attention. It would be like Hooters announcing that they were going to reinvent the Hooters girl. Sexual innuendo will no longer be our mission statement, and from now on, our scantily clad waitstaff will dress in full business casual attire. Would that really make women any more interested in Hooters? No, women don't care what Hooters does. That place isn't for them, and it never has been. It's the same boys' club mentality, and a little makeover isn't going to fix it. This is going to be a much harder problem to solve. So what should we do instead? How can we start breaking down this barrier and make women feel a little more welcome?